Hello, and welcome to this week's Profit Maximizer Moment. Wow, mouth stopped. The show is dedicated to helping business owners dramatically improve their bottom line with our weekly profit maximizing tips that you can use now. I'm your host and coach, Wayne Belisle. I'm also a founder of a local CPA firm that works with business owners to help them make more money and keep it from the IRS. I do that with our profit coaching programs and with our tax planning systems, which have saved my clients over $6.8 million. Well, 7.5. I haven't updated this in forever. All legally, like I say every week, love my clients, but don't wish to share a jail cell with them. Today, we're going to talk about how much should you be charging. What's your price? How do you set your price? All right. But first, support for today's show comes from Profit Maximizing Publishing, which published my book, The 90-Day Profit Reset. I'm in the wrong hands, so it's covering my face. There we go. All right. Oh, I'm having trouble today. There we go. Sorry about that. Which shows you how to gain your independence from reduced cash flow, shrinking margins, and evaporating customer base. In this book, you will find chapter after chapter and idea after idea about how you can turn around your business and reset your profits from red to black in 90 days or sooner. Even if you're making money, this book is handy because it helps you make more money. And that's what business is supposed to be all about, which is profit, which is why I concentrate on mainly increasing profits. That's what we're all about. So today we're going to talk. Now, by the way, yesterday, that's why today's a little flustered because I'm picking up pieces. Yesterday was the corporate deadline for S corps and partnership returns. You hope you filed an extension. If not, well, get your return in as fast as possible to keep the penalties down. Partnerships, there's a way to get out of the penalty. If your person doesn't know and you get stuck with one, shoot me an email and I'll tell you what to do. Anyways, how much should I be charged? It's a question I get frequently. Really get it very often. In fact, due to the ease of price comparison on the internet, this is a question that's coming up more than it ever did in the past. The first thing I need to stress to the business owner is that as far as your customer is concerned, seller's cost is of little or no importance to the customer. They don't care. All right. Price is simply an exchange of value for money. Listen to that. Anything you pay for is an exchange of cash for something of value. It's as simple as that. All right. To make a sale, you have to convince the customer that the value of what they're receiving is equal to, or hopefully greater than, the amount that they're paying. Pricing is much more elastic than most business owners think. Customers pay what they perceive, not what you perceive, what they perceive to be the value of the product or service. Excuse me. After the business owner understands the above, we can start answering the following questions. How do you set your prices? What do you do? I'd be amazed. Oh, that's what the market does, or that's how we always did it. We took our cost times two. Well, what did I just say? Cost. Well, I don't care what your cost is. Have you received your product or service? Have you reviewed your product or service pricing lately? Do you look at it? Do you change it? What are your competitors charging? Oh, I don't like that as something to base it on, but it's something that we should look at. What now? This is the key. What separates your product from your customers? In other words, why should I buy from you? All right. Put it another way, why? With all the choices I have out there, including doing nothing, which is, if you confuse me enough or if the price is too high, I just won't do it. All right. Why should I buy from you? It's that simple. I need to be able to answer that. If I can't answer that quickly, then you're not going to make the sale. Ours is pretty simple. We're going to do a tax return that's very compliant so that you keep you out of trouble. We're going to do tax planning so you pay the lowest allowed by law. And we're going to help you. We're going to do business coaching in order to help you increase your profits. All right. So I put that down very simply as we're going to help you make more money and keep more of it from the IRS. Can't get any more simple than that. And that's very understandable. That's what business owners want. Nobody comes to me to do a tax return because, well, it looks like fun. I'll do a tax return. That's not how that works. Okay. And they don't want a financial statement. They don't even know how to read it half the time. They should. I mean, I'm a strong believer as your business grows, you need to know how to read the numbers. But I'd say 80 to 90% of the financials we do is because some bank wants it. And so again, we're looked at the industry as a whole is looked at, and CPAs and tax preparers are looked at as a necessary evil. I'm switching that by saying my job is to help you make more money with our profit coaching, and two, to help you keep more of it from the IRS legally. Nobody wants to go to jail. All right. All right. Can you Another question to ask: can you package various products or services together to increase the perceived value? In the opposite direction, should you offer some of your bundled services or products individually, pull them apart? Have you tested changing your prices to see the effect on customer retention and what your new customer conversion rate is? All right. When was the last time you raised prices? If you raised prices by 10%, how many customers did you lose? Let me put it another way. If I were to raise my prices by 10%, how many could I afford to lose before sales were reduced? It's kind of tricky. And truthfully, I could care less about sales. How many could I afford to lose before profits went down? Give you an example. We raised our prices, and well, I'm a kind of a believer in it. You need to. I'd rather do smaller increases every year, as opposed to one large one every 10 years when I'm forced to. All right. People expect it, but still, you can't break the number one rule is that I have to be given more value than the price I'm charging. All right. And that's perceived value in your customer's mind. All right. So how do I get that across? All right. So first, I need to be able to convince them that I'm your best choice. Here's what we do differently. And then I change the way you charge. I mean, we sell packages that make it almost impossible to compare us to anybody else. We also do things differently. So we're not, we don't do, we'll do a tax return, but that's a commodity. So we try to stay in the ballpark. But it's really that simple. How much you should be charging is something you should be looking at every year, at least once a year, if not more often, maybe twice a year, to see where you're at and testing it. Sometimes what you do is you have a higher price for new people. And I go into this a little bit more in the book, and then in other videos, I've talked about how to increase prices and actually not lose anybody, and if nothing else, actually increase sales. Anyways, if you haven't re-examined your pricing recently, you may be surprised, truthfully, by how much money you're leaving on the table. Seriously, this is someplace where people just don't pay attention, and you'd be surprised. I've had some pretty good increases and lost nobody, but I've added value as I do it. All right. Hey, until next week, this is Wayne Belisle saying, let's make this our most profitable year ever. Thank you very much. And see you.